Alright, so this is Vault of Bones. I love this episode. This was like, for lack of a better word, this was one of the more adorable episodes I've seen in a while. And there's a lot of adorable episodes. This was like really insanely funny, creative, and cute. It was like really, really cute. It's Finn and Flame Princess are hanging out. And you still see her father comes in, whispering, evil, 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 evil. And she's wondering if she is evil and stuff, so Finn suggests they go into a dungeon, it'll just make her feel better. They go through the forest trying to find the entrance under rocks and trees, it's obviously very Zelda, and they find one, and the whole thing is pretty much, I get Zelda out of it. I mean, I don't know if they're referencing anything else in there, but... Okay, are you being sarcastic, or is there really something else it's referencing?
Well, no, I mean, have you ever played an RPG besides Zelda? Because Zelda's not very RPG-y.
Well, okay, I mean, but like... In terms of, like, the original, like, go get the key, go back, entrance in the forest, under a rock, you know, or a tree, you have to pull a lever and stuff. No, more other RPGs.
For me, I took it as just the daily... The old Final Fantasy, actually any Final Fantasy, the Dragon Warrior series, like any of those where it's the grinding. Because when you grind, you go from point A to point B, point A to point C, point A to point D. Like you're consistently doing this whole thing.
Going back and forth, yeah.
Going back and forth, or even it could be a knock-it like Resident Evil. Because in the earlier Resident Evils, you had to go through like part of the mansion. Then you had to double all the way back, and then you had to go back, and then you had to double all the way back.
I guess Zelda's was a little bit more tight, I guess, in that sense, where it's like, hey, you found this, now go run this mission to go back here and do this, but it's not like you had to do that 8 times.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay, so fair enough. But they go through this dungeon, and...
Dungeon crawl.
Yeah, dungeon crawl. And they pretty much... Finn's sort of showing her sort of the proper etiquette, per se, of how to do this, because she just wants to set everything on fire, and he forces them to do the splits. They just get ow, 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 ow.
I can't do the splits. Do the splits!
And she's starting to get a little bored by it, and he says, well, okay, let's try doing things your way. She starts setting everything on fire, doing a lot of cool moves, and Finn gets captured and thinks that she's going to use nothing but her flames to get him out of it, and if she does, it's going to kill him. So she starts rushing towards him and says, do the splits, and even gets the sword out and says, do the splits, and this giant monster Steven just crawls over to a corner and does the splits, and it was so great. It was exactly what I wanted to see in that moment. I'm like, oh, I so hope he just tries to do the splits, and it's so great just seeing this big thing just...
And then he falls over and pushes himself back up.
Yeah. And they come out and they have like a nice compromise, and she's, you know, not so evil while they're trying all the keys. And, you know, there's still little hints of like, you know, I like destroying, you know, things. As far as he's concerned, she's like, you know, evil things. And so I like that. And then when they open up the chest, there's what looks like a green butt or a green heart, and it just winks. I have no idea what that is. Do we find out what that is, or do we just leave that? Okay, we'll just leave it. So there's a lot of things I like. First of all, I love the fact that, to me, this very much shows that, you know, because, like, is she evil? Is she? And it starts off with that, and it closes with that, and it comes back. I mean, it's very well paced that way, and to me, it shows very much that, like, you can have, it's like, everybody's gonna have, you know, a bad tendency, or, you know, or anger, or violence, or whatever, and...
No, I'm completely the nicest person ever, unless you're old, or an adorable elephant, or a kid.
But what I really like is that they go and they show that as long as you have an outlet, for a healthy outlet, like, it's okay. Like, her saying, I like destroying things, and he looks kind of worried, and she's like, you know, bad things. You know, and a lot of people would say, okay, it's not the healthiest, but it's still better than the alternative. In this world, it's like, you know, sort of the best thing to do. Well, yeah, there you go. Yeah, getting that stuff out. You know, and it's... I really like that. I think that's a nice way, especially someone who does come from an extremely evil background, and someone that's coming in constantly trying to make her evil. A parent that's trying to make her evil and, literally whisper and try to make her do bad things. So I like that. What I like too is that it really got both sides of sort of the whole RPG thing, because like, as a kid, I liked Zelda, I liked Metroid. I don't even know if you necessarily call those like die-hard RPGs, probably not, but
Actually, Metroid's a good example though, because think about with Metroid, where there are the energy containers hidden throughout, and you weren't able to get to them until you get the high jump. Or till you get the frost beam. You had to jump and kind of go here and then come back. That's a better example, actually, than Zelda is.
Yeah, I mean, and when I was a kid, I loved that stuff. Nowadays, I don't have the patience, and they piss me the hell off, and I get bored by them, but that's not all saying they're bad. They're not bad. They're, they're people, they're for people who have this patience and enjoy putting this time to this game and stuff. And it's like, more power to you. I mean, you have much more patience than I do. They just drive me insane.
How many hours have you sunk into Bioshock Infinite?
Okay, but that's just going through. Okay, you're just going through the game. It's like, now you go here. Now you go here. It's very rare that there's like a side mission. Even the side mission is, now you go here. Now you go here. It's rare they have to go back, to drop something off. You had to go all the... See, and Bioshock Infinite always offered something new. You're going to go to a new place, and now a new place, and that's what I like. The idea of going all the way back, or your game is almost finished. Now you have to go to every single world to find this one little brouhaha we made up, and it's like, I just went to all those stinking worlds! It drives me nuts, but like I said, I get it. It requires a great deal of patience, and it's just... I'm very impatient when it comes to games. I'm just like, kill things! I'm very bad that way.
So am I like Finn and he's like Flame Princess?
No, honestly, that's what I was saying. That's what honestly, we should make out. You should set me on fire, and then they should write
you're
Flame
Princess.
Yes. No, that's what I'm saying. So I can be on fire.
Oh! Yeah. Later.
And then they'll write slash fiction about it, and it'll be glorious.
Yeah, I finally found out what the hell slash fiction was.
Oh, you didn't know what it was before? All you did was type in our names, I'm sure, like, all over.
No, I was looking at, I'm trying to remember what I was looking at exactly, but then I found out exactly what slash fiction meant, and I was like, oh.
It's like, now I get all those
Oh,
jokes.
shipping. I was looking up when the term shipping actually came into existence. Because I never heard the term shipping until a year or two ago?
Yeah, actually, me too. I had to actually ask at a con in front of a group of people because they're like, do you ship, these two characters from Avatar? And I'm just like, what's shipping? And everyone just like, ooh! So
no, because it was something that was going on in the comments section about shipping and all that stuff. The bag, all the little people. Was like a kind of a knock at people who ship.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. And it was like, growing up, I never did that. Mm-hmm. I never looked at the Ninja Turtles and thought, oh my god, it'd totally be awesome if Splinter and April like hooked up. They'd totally be good together.
I never did that much either. I think that's more something that came along. Not that it didn't exist, but I'm sure it was made popular by the internet, I'm sure.
Yeah, and that was the thing I was curious about when, because my daughter started using shipping, and I was like, asked Jory, I was like, what the hell does shipping mean? I don't get this. What? They're put on a ship and set out to sea?
Yeah, that's sort of what I was thinking too. I was just like, I don't get it. But
so yeah, that's how I found out what slash fiction was. And it was like the one that they bring up is Kirk and Spock. I was like, what? Oh,
or like anyone in Harry Potter, from what I understand. Yeah. So yeah, I liked going through the dungeon. I liked seeing them work off each other. I thought it was very clever that he finds the gauntlet, and that way he can
gauntlet.
Yeah, and that way, like, when she's gonna do something, he can put her hands down and say, he can touch her and stuff. So yeah, I really liked it, and I'm growing more and more to the idea of them being a couple, which I was never against it before, but I was like, oh, okay, so just obvious replacement, whatever. But it seems like, yeah, like they really, really work, and I like seeing them together. I like seeing them compromise, and I think it was freaking adorable.
I like the episode. I mean, I've always been a fan of Flame Princess. I mean, since day one, I mean, she's been my favorite. I thought this gum skulls, or the glue skulls, were very interesting, especially when she blows open and there's one, like, jerking off the tongue or whatever of
yeah,
another
they're just
one.
sort of like, I thought it was like playing with a guitar or something like that, just like, huh? They get blown
Oh,
off.
see, it looked a lot more perverted to me. Like, one
Oh,
tongue
did
was
it?
in another one's mouth and the other one was going like this.
Oh, is that? I thought one was like playing it like a guitar string or something
That
like
could
that.
be possible. We'll have to rewatch it, but I thought it was
I'm like really curious.
I was like, what?
Like, because I really missed something if that's what was going on. They have a few jokes like that, though, like
Oh,
Kiss the Cook on BMO's.
Yeah.
Or Kiss My Cook.
Yeah,
that's it.
Kiss My Cook. I'm a huge fan of RPGs. I always have been. The classics from Adventure on the Atari 2600 to, like, even Final Fantasy 13.
God, I remember that, yeah.
Wild Arms, Legend of Dragoon, Xenogears. Like, I've always been a fan of role-playing games, so seeing this when I hear Dungeon Crawl, I instantly think grinding. I instantly think, all this stuff. And I love how he just gets the key and he's like, oh, back to the beginning. We have to go back. We don't have to. We get to.
Yeah, and see, to me, I'm very much on her side. I'm just like, why would I want to go back? Why can't I keep going forward? Well, you see, you have to find this in order to get that. And it's like, and like I said, I get it. It's just not for me. So I was very much on her side, but at the same time, I understand Finn's side as well. So I thought that was a very good sort of balance that they did there.
Well, I remember when me and Jory were in our younger days, and we were playing. I was playing Wild Arms, and she was watching me, and she said she's going to try it herself. She started playing, and I'm like, no, you got to go over there. Then you got to do that. And it was kind of like Finn in Flame Princess. She was like, just let me play how I want to play. And of course, I'm like, I know what I'm doing, though! Not realizing, okay, she wants to do it her way. She needs to learn through her own mistakes and the way she does it and all that. So, I could definitely relate with this one. Plus, it's also badass when her hand turns into a blade and she's just like,
yeah,
whoa,
that was the
whoa!
coolest. Yeah, when she did the
does-
X in the door. Yeah, and does that little flip
Flame
through.
rolling.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, she's just even better now. So.
Yeah, this one I think had the coolest Flame Princess moves in it. Like, if this was ever, I mean, I think it is technically a game, but if it was a game, if Adventure Time was a game where you could pick any character, it's like, I would always pick her, because she would just have the coolest moves.
Actually, they do have a game. It's like, Ice King, why did you steal our garbage? Something like that. We need to get it. It's a multiplayer. We'll have to come over and we can play.
Right after we play the burrito game.
It's a dungeon game. It's a dungeon crawl.
Which we promised people we would do it, that we never delivered, because it was the Ice King and Marceline episode. It's just like, yeah, no way we're playing this game over talking about this.
I was like hoping, someone would be like, oh, they're going to play it. No one cares.
Yeah.
No one even made a single solitary comment towards that game, and it's like, oh, I failed.
I thought I saw one or two people, but no, it was mostly shouted by, oh my god, I remember he was coming up, I remember he was coming up.
Yep.
So, cool.
No, I liked it. I thought it was fun. And yeah.
And what I like too is that it's a relationship with, with a girl that Finn is with, and it's not, are they or are they going to be a couple? No, they're a couple, and you get to see them as a couple, and I so rarely see that, and I like that. There's nothing wrong with just having a couple be a couple and seeing the differences and conflicts that can come
Get rid
through
of
with
sexual tension and get to an actual couple.
Yes.
I loved when she's like, I wouldn't burn my boyfriend, and Finn's eyes get big and he gets all
Yeah, it's
rosy
like,
cheeked.
that
I'm
was
like,
so
that's
nice. Yeah, I mean, it's like so cute, and it's like, why? I never get these whole, okay, if you have a story every once in a while where it's like, okay, well, a couple falling in love, and does the person like me, does the person not, it's like, okay, that's always going to be a small part, but then it's like, they always stop once they say, okay, let's be a couple, and they stop, and I'm like, why? That's the beginning of the cool stuff. Why do they stop, or why do they have the dumbass love triangles, or why do they always, once they fall in love, it's like, well, that's the goal, that's all you wanted just him or her, and that's it, there's nothing beyond that, and it's like, bullcrap, there's a lot of stuff after that. And
why do you think I'm not a fan of Futurama?
Yeah,
I like old
that,
Futurama episodes, but I hate what they did with Fry and Leela over and over again.
Yeah, no, I agree, it was so stupid.
It's the show with amnesia. Because numerous episodes, when Bender is able to tell the future, they see their future and how good and bad it's going to be. But for some reason, they still
just
don't
forget
get
about
together,
it.
right?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I hate that stuff, and I think it's stupid. I think it's like, are people finally seeing how stupid this is? Is that why we're finally getting these, good things like this in shows now?
No, I just think the Adventure Time crew is smart. They're making stuff.
Well, now remember that they did quite a bit of it early on too, though. I mean, obviously, but with him and Bubblegum. You know, I mean, granted, it was a touch different because, you know, she's older and he's younger, but it was still the sexual tension, are they or aren't they and stuff. But then they stopped, and they said, okay, we're done with this, let's get this to something else, and at least they had that sort of segue over, and it's, like I said, in the Lich episode and stuff, it still makes things a little uncomfortable, too, like, you know, when he's trying to get whatever from her, and she accidentally cuts him, and she's like, you know, that was an accident. There's already sort of that tension there. So it's like, that works okay. It's like, I'll give that a pass.
I took it more as Finn's a child. He's just learning, you know, relationships and all that, and Peebles never had that feeling towards him. Mm-hmm. He was just always kind of the hero and all of that stuff, and it was just correct me if I'm using the wrong term, it's an unrequited love, where Finn loves her, but she doesn't even notice him as that. He's just a hero, he's just a good close friend, and all of that stuff.
And she knows the age difference is going to get it.
Exactly. So I think it was never the whole, oh, they're going to get together. It was more along the lines of, let's see how we can show him dealing with something he will never be able to attain. And then when he finally, you know, as he's going along, he's learning, he's growing, he actually gets to be together with her for an episode. And then she reverts back to her proper age, and she's like, that was a while ago, we need to stop this, you know, whatever. And now he's going with girls his proper age, if you will.
Yeah.
I think it was just a learning curve, honestly. I don't think it was the whole, sexual tension.
Well,
because it's a kid's show.
Well, okay, not sexual tension, but will they... You're the one who used the term, first of all. Second, you know, whether or not they'll be a couple. That's one game, too.
No, I know.
But, yeah, so I like them as a couple, and I like that they're addressing... It's not like, oh, and everything's happy and there's no problems. It's like, no. It's like, when you get together, it's like, that's the beginning of a lot. And I hate when stories just stop after they get together.
Or like, they get together and everything's perfectly fine. Or it's stupid relationship things. Like... oh, you were looking at some other guy, weren't you? Or you didn't call me at the proper time.
Yeah, I mean, stupid stuff that's like, yeah, because those are the real issues in a relationship, you know, that's the important stuff. You know, it's like there's so many factors that, you know, play a part, and they're interesting, and why not talk about them? You know, I like that they're beginning to talk about them here. Now, granted, still at their age, you know, they're both, whatever, 13, you know, but yeah, so I really like that. I think that's cool.
By the way, I want to make a quick, not really, I don't know, an announcement, shout out, whatever. We will be at Anime Midwest in Chicago, and you guys should totally show up and bother us, or at least bother me, because I like talking to you guys and all that junk. So my wife will be there, and she'll be signing I Hate Peebles t-shirts.
Someone, I guess, actually sent an email saying, will you sign my I Hate Peebles t-shirt? I'm like, there's a t-shirt?
That's awesome.
But she likes Marshall Lee, so what will you do?
It's like you're playing with boobs. Now you're just looking at... Stop that, young man!